On this week's Throwdown, Mini Mike and Juicy Jordan demo the workout.
We've got double unders, overhead squats, and chest to bar pull-ups. We release these workouts right here on YouTube every Thursday at 1 p.m. 1 p.m.
Before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we're on our road to 35K subscribers. And when we hit that milestone, we're gonna give away a Black Zinc Rogue 2.0 barbell. Let us know your strategy for this workout in the comments below. That comment is what's going to enter you into the giveaway. Once we reach that 35,000 subscriber milestone, we'll use a random YouTube comment generator on one of these videos where we promoted the giveaway to draw a worldwide winner for that bar. So all you gotta do is be subscribed and comment below to enter.
This week's workout is a 14-minute AMRAP, 100 double unders, 18 overhead squats, 18 chest to bar pull-ups.
For a warm-up, movement standards, and a scaled workout, check out the description down below.
Our two wonderful demo athletes this week are training think tank coach Mike McGoldrick, who also competed in the 1934 games, and he's still in the sport on a team with Mia, and Jordan Burnett, who is an RX level athlete. He's got all the skills to basically be elite in the sport, but maybe a little bit farther off on the strength aspect of the game.
Speaking of Mike, this week on our Corpus Animus podcast, Mike and Adam have a discussion about making the best out of training with limited time and how to improve your overall training quality.
It's almost like you read that off a piece of paper. Right now, we're in the middle of our open peaking cycle in the design. If you want to see a free sample week, go to trainingthinktank.com.
Let's go see these well thought out strategies.
And first up, we have 34-year-old Mike McGoldrick standing at 5 feet, 11 inches, 203 pounds after his morning dump. His 1RM overhead squat is 350 pounds. He can do 40 unbroken chest to bar pull-ups, and he has 312 unbroken double unders.
So I'm gonna break my dubs into 40, 30, 30, and take advantage of my double under speed, and just try and stay cool so that I can basically move really quick through things, try and make it feel like 20.2, where like the reps and transitions are really short and fast. Overhead squats, I'll do 10 and 8, and then chest to bar, I'll do 6s.
And in this corner, we have Jordan Burnett, 29 years old, 5'6", 158 pounds of pure muscle. 265-pound overhead squat, max unbroken chest to bars is 60, and 300-ish max unbroken double unders.
Strategy is to pace out the first few rounds, keep up with Mike, let him set the pace. And then once he starts to fail a little bit, I'm gonna break the metaphorical rope and just haul ass. Not really. I'm probably gonna break up the double unders a little bit. I'll probably break up the chest to bar and overhead squats a little bit as well. These are three pretty good movements for me, which means it's probably gonna be either like a heart rate or a breathing limited workout for me. So I'll try and break it up early and be right at like threshold for the majority of this one.
3, 2, 1, 0.
Jordan and Mike, this is I think our most common matchup that we've had.
Coach and athlete.
Yeah. And they're looking in each other's eyes.
I love it when they give numbers, because now I'm going to hold Mike to that 10 and 8 on the chest bars.
Or even conceptually, I'm gonna transition really quickly, like 20.2. I'm like, come on, Mike, it's a 14-minute workout. We know you better than this.
So Mike is sticking to his 40, 30, 30 plan. I would break these up because double unders really wreck me, but there's not enough speed gained by trying to go faster or slower on double unders unless you're just really slow and jumping super high.
Or a sprint style workout, maybe.
Yeah, the thing with that though is that it's almost better for someone like Mike, I think, to just hold on to a couple big sets early and then go to 40, 30, 30 maybe in your third round or fourth round.
Yeah, I think so too. He had a plan break, but then he started again in his second set and missed. So it's something you have to factor in. If you plan breaks with a barbell, you're almost certain that you're gonna hit your rep schemes. If you plan breaks with double unders, you could also add extra breaks just from resting or missing.
Great transition by Jordan. He's already broken the metaphorical rope.
Both of their squat speeds look great. I think in a workout like this where you're going, for me at least, double unders are shoulder intensive to an overhead squat where you're holding the bar overhead to a chest bar where your arms are overhead. It makes sense to try to speed those squats up as much as you can so that you're not blowing your shoulders up.
Jordan had a good little strategy there, so he brought it into the back rack and then pushed it back up overhead, whereas Mike dropped it to the floor. Something to consider if just having the load on you is not enough to fatigue you, and it's more so you resting your shoulders, since it's shoulders in the double under, shoulders in the overhead squats, and arms and shoulders doing pull-ups. You could just rest it on your back in between your sets, or do 6, 6, 6 to get through that 18.
The one warning that I would have there is if you're really tight in your pecs or shoulders and you're trying to hold that back rack position, you're actually creating even more occlusion, which will then blow you up more. So just play around with it in your warm-ups before you try it.
Something Jordan did really well this round and continues to do throughout the whole workout is his transition into his first set of chest to bars is always really quick. And then he didn't rest much this round, but you'll see as we go, his break afterwards gets longer, but his transition into that first set is always really strong.
I'm going to use this as another opportunity to call out our on-site strategies. He said he was going to let Mike set the pace, and he's already blazing past Mike.
Yeah. Well, he tasted the blood in the water.
Yeah.
Mike started tripping on doubles early. Yeah, comparing the two athletes, they're pretty similar actually on double unders. I think they both are efficient enough that they'll get through the workout. Mike's better at overhead squats, just his squat speed, and I think his squatting endurance is still pretty elite. And then I would say that Jordan's right now better at chest to bar. So you kind of see a back and forth, I would guess.
Jordan has this interesting little stop on the rope. He does like a little kickstand and stops the rope from flipping over him. I've never seen that before.
What do you mean, like when he's stopping in between a set?
He didn't really do it on that one.
Yeah.
But you'll notice it now when he does do it. It's like a deliberate stop of the rope.
Yeah, I can't do that because my timing's not good.
I don't know if I can figure that out.
My stop is when I trip.
See?
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. So a little longer transition, which makes sense after doing one round, but still pretty good. I mean, that was 7 seconds.
Yeah, so as Jordan gets close to the end of his second round, he opened with a round of 2:04. Mike was 2:10, so he's a little farther behind, which mostly is transitions at that point. And then he's going to finish up his second round, and it's going to be 2 minutes and 45 seconds. So already a pretty big fall off. I think if you see, if you're an elite athlete watching this is kind of like that 2 minute to maybe 2:15 round for probably the whole workout, and maintaining that and being in the somewhere between mid sixes to potentially even close to 7 rounds for somebody that can go full speed and unbroken, because they also had some breaks in the overhead squats and chest to bars, whereas I think it's possible that an elite could go like maybe 3 or 4 rounds unbroken before they got to take their first break.
Yeah, that's going to be someone that's world class. But if you're trying to be competitive, or if you're thinking about this like an open workout, that's probably the pace that you're going to have to hold to be like top 50 or top 100 in an open workout. And the other thing to think about too is this is actually very similar to the feel of 18.3, where it was 100 double unders and then 20 of one movement, 112 muscle ups, or whatever the order was. There are people that finished that, and that was 14 minutes. That was 800 double unders. Let's say you did 2 minute rounds. That's 700 plus the movements, which is basically the same amount of effort and time.
Yeah, so this is a workout that I feel like could have, you could have the breathing and heart rate just normal, I'm tired, because it's Metcon limitations, like Jordan said in his strategy. But there's also 3 distinct movements that all could be limited for people. Overhead squats, some people's positions, double unders, the skill, and chest to bars as a limiter. So I think this is one that an individual strategy makes a lot of sense. If you're somebody, for example, with chest to bars as a limiter, you might want to figure out how to go as fast as possible through these first 2 movements and then chip away at the chest to bars in 2s or 3s or something like that. I feel like people a lot of times, they make the mistake of thinking chest to bars is a weakness, so I'm going to open big. And I'm like, that's the complete opposite of what you should probably do if that's a major limiter for you.
Especially when you're going to get through multiple rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way that I tell athletes to look at it is like, let's say, using the chest bar example, they've done enough, like, let's say, EMOMs or intervals where they know where their chest bar is going to start breaking down, and then they know the kind of game plan that they would use in EMOMs or intervals to make sure they could get 60 in a session or whatever it may be. So I tell them to take that same strategy. If it's like, I'm doing 6s through 18, and then I'm doing 4s, and whatever it may be for them, use that in a workout like this, and then just try to push the total rest time, the pace there, as fast as you can.
Double unders now look like they're a little bit taxing. Mike was breaking or missing. I'm not entirely sure how much they're planned and how much they're misses. And then now he's doing the stop, take a break, and then also go down and change posture and rest and breathe. So I'm guessing at this point it's real, and there's a lot of discomfort. And there's a lot of time left because we're only about halfway through the workout.
This workout looks like it hurts a lot.
Yeah, very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
His double unders still look really good. I mean, he always is in a pretty tight position, but his bounding mechanics are great.
Yeah, it seems like there's like kind of the two strategies to go about double unders is to go right into your double if you're pretty confident with the movement. You're trying to save that second every time you start or every time you miss. Or if it's a weakness for you, going single, single, and then double under, just so that way you're in a little bit of a better rhythm and you're missing less throughout. So that's another kind of little technical strategy that I've seen people play with. We say it a lot for elites, hey, start with your first double, because workouts, oftentimes that can be a separator, but if you're not elite, that's when those strategies can maybe start to break down a little bit.
So neither of them do this in the workout, not calling them out, but something that I see with athletes in high volume double under workouts is I don't have an issue with that bent over rest position, it's when you do it. So people who start tripping often, say you do a set of 20, you do your bent over rest because that's what you're planning, and then you're going for another set of 20, but you trip at 3, and then you bend over and rest again. I think being disciplined there and making sure that you earn that rest with the number of reps before doing that, it's more of like a frustration thing because you didn't get tired doing 2 double unders and tripping.
So hit the number that you have in
So
mind.
if you say you're going to go 20s, 5 sets of 20, and you go 20 and you take your break and go down to posture, and then you're trying to go to 40 on your next one, but you miss at 24, don't take another break until you get to 40. Just go right into the doubles to get there.
I've seen people lose a lot of time doing that.
By people, are you referring to me?
I've seen Max do that a couple times. I've also done that a few times.
I'm guilty as well.
Jordan is doing a really good job, and I think, Mia, you mentioned this earlier, but going from chest to bars back to the rope, he's picking it up right away, which even for like someone that is not good at double under, so like me, I think that's a good strategy to get one set out of the way and then take your longer break.
So Jordan finished round 3, and round 3 was 3:33. So paces per round have been 2:04, 2:45, 3:03. So there's a pretty severe fall off, and a lot of that is just planned rest, slower transitions, more breaks. Might be something, I was joking with Jake last week that this is kind of like being a sacrificial lamb when you go out and you're the one demoing the workout.
For sure.
But if you kind of gauge yourself from a fitness perspective and these guys are kind of close to where you are, could be an opportunity for you to be like, okay, I'm gonna go out at 2:45 rounds or 3-minute rounds and then see how I feel later into the workout to try to go faster, as opposed to going in and maybe blowing up a little bit. Which both of them said they were going to go a little bit conservative on the front, but
I think just like any workout, it's really hard to do that because you feel so fresh. And the chest to bars feel great, the overhead squats feel great, but it's that second round of double unders. I think by the time you do 200, you're already kind of in that state of like, okay, I'm starting to feel it, and then you have to pull back. Mike's jumping still looks really good, but he's just like doing sets of 15 over there.
Jordan missed there too. So I think this is really going to be a major separator. I think if double unders is a skill for you, maybe even a tiny bit of a slower transition from chest to bars to there, if you can go unbroken for 3 or 4 rounds through this, I think you'd save a tremendous amount of time.
If you plan to go unbroken, then you should take a longer break, most likely, unless you're a Travis or someone that's really good at double unders. Otherwise, I still think it is, if you're doing 40, 30, 30 or 25s or something like that, make a fast transition, do your first set, then take your longer break.
Yeah, so just to give context, so Jordan did his first double unders in 56 seconds, and then his next one was about 1:15, and then 1:30, and then 1:40. So there's a lot of rest time built into missing double unders. So if you think about dropping an overhead squat for 10 or 15 seconds is adding 15 seconds, but a bunch of breaks and misses in a double unders can potentially add 50 seconds to a minute. You're kind of getting some sort of a separation value idea of saying, hey, it's better off to be taking more breaks in the barbell and the chest to bars and being a little bit more, disciplined or doing bigger sets in the double unders with less breaks.
That's definitely where they're bleeding the most time.
So Mike has slowly started to catch back up. He's only 6 chest to bars behind right now, but this is a long transition for Mike.
Yeah, is he separating or catching back up from the overhead squats primarily? Is that where he seems to be making up most time?
Yes, I think so. And he's holding his chest to bar sets. Jordan's breaking them more, but that one was a little bit of a longer break, but Jordan's breaks on chest to bar are pretty quick.
Seems like set sizes are about the same. I know Mike is a little bit leaner and lighter right now than he was probably the last time he
I thought you were going to say
demoed.
than Jordan.
No.
He's a good 20 pounds lighter than Jordan right now.
I wonder what the body weight discrepancy is. I think Mike's probably around 205 and Jordan's 170, 165, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I would say 170-ish. So this is where, you know, if you're racing, I think for Mike, he should probably just jump up and maybe start even 3s or 4s if he had, well, he did finish with a 4, but right away and try to get back on the double unders because he knows that he can catch up there with the overhead squats.
Yeah, so now it's at 12:20. There's not that much time left in the workout. Mike's not that far behind. This is kind of where the finishing kicks in. It depends really on the type of movement that you're getting bottlenecked at right at the end point. But when you know you have 100 double unders, then overhead squats following it, you know, like, okay, I'm going to be in that overhead squat set, and you got to kind of figure out how to just be like, okay, I'm going to get on there and just go. I'm going to try to, you know, do a big set and get through this as quick as possible, because based on their previous double under sets, you know, 100 double unders was taking almost 90 seconds. So that's pretty much, okay, the double unders plus a little bit left.
Well, you can see Mike picked up his pace. So this is his sprint double under. Obviously, he missed there, but he had to do at least 60 to start in a pretty fast time. And now that he knows where Jordan is, at least he saw the break. I think Mike is going to try to catch up and finish with one last set. Well, another trip. I know in his mind he's always thinking, because we've done plenty of workouts together, if I'm ahead, he knows that his double unders are faster, and maybe he can take advantage of that towards the end of a workout.
Yeah, so it's a cost benefit of trying to sprint your double unders. You got to just figure out, if he had not missed, he probably would have been, you know, a lot closer to being able to catch Jordan. So Jordan got finished with the double unders at like 13:18 and picked up the bar around like 13:28-ish, 10-second transition. And now Mike is trying to use his gorilla speed.
Yeah, that's really good speed to finish.
I wonder how much his legs got sore from this.
Oh, going this fast at the end of a workout.
Yeah, but
Yeah, he's pulling himself down. He's definitely sprinting. And Jordan is as well now, trying to not let him catch. He'll took a little walker there.
I wish we had a counter there. You guys don't know, but Mike lost by 1 rep, even though he had a great sprint finish. Good match, yeah.
Let's say Jordan won by 1 rep. He just put
Jordan, you won by 1 rep. All right, Project Pat, do your thing.
It's a wrap, you know what I'm saying? Your boy Project Pata in this thing, man. Hey, look, man, thank y'all for watching Training Think Tank's YouTube channel. Y'all hit that motherfucking subscribe button, you know what I'm saying? So y'all go ahead, man. Thank y'all for watching the channel, you know what I'm saying? Hit that motherfucking subscribe button. Let it be known, what it be known, what it be known, you know what I'm saying? Pata.